This is Tech coming directly to you through the power of the internet. Uh, as this title of this video states, uh, I have come to the conclusion, based on multiple points coming up and various patterns presenting themselves, that there are two very, 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 very high probability I'm not joking, high probability days in which Nintendo will unveil the Nintendo NX. Okay? The first highly probable day is October 21st. This, take off my glasses, this day has been popping up at various points. It is strongly rumored by many people. It also happens to be the first day, way back on October 21st, was the first Nintendo Direct. There we go. Uh, there's a strong series of patterns. It's approximately in the middle of October, which is a pretty decent time for Nintendo to unveil the Nintendo NX. And there we go. The second high probability day is October 26th. October 26th happens to be the day of the Nintendo Investors Meeting. Why do I say this is a high probability day? Because the last system Nintendo announced was actually actual new system was the Nintendo 3DS, and it was announced at a Nintendo Investors Meeting. Uh, Incidentally, happens to be the last Nintendo Investors Meeting before the end of the year, I do believe. Yeah. Uh, is a fairly good chance of it being either the 21st or the 26th. The 21st is a good one because it happens to be also before the 26th, which is the Nintendo Investors Meeting. Now, as for the Nintendo NX, what could it be? If you want to uh, play around with various ideas, there's been countless rumors about the Nintendo NX being basically a tablet with removable controllers, and then it already turns out there was already a product like that called the Aikun Morphius 300X. It's already in existence. It's just something that's not on the market yet, because Aikun has not quite got the funding to put into mass production. But all probability aside, many people are speculating that Nintendo purchased the Aikun Morphius 300X and is going to rebrand it the Nintendo NX. This is not normal for Nintendo. Nintendo, at any given point in time, typically doesn't buy a completed product. They typically will buy a technology. Like, last time they bought something was the motion controls for the Wii. Another notable time, way long ago, was the 3D technology for the Virtual Boy. So there you go. Now, that is all in good. Nintendo is probably not. I really don't think Nintendo probably would go that route. and buy the Aikun Morphius 300 and brand it the Nintendo NX. It's just why. And Nintendo kind of really likes to do its own thing. Uh, it may be just a simple case where Nintendo had an idea and Aikun had an idea, and they happen to have the same idea. Now, it was also at various points where I have thought of, and various other people thought of, a smartphone. Nintendo potentially making a smartphone. And for your point of thought, there is another YouTuber called N64 Danny. He has some really interesting videos on the subject of Nintendo potentially making a super smartphone. Now, these are largely his ideas and a whole bunch of other things based on patents and other stuff, but it's all really interesting stuff, and you should probably go and check it out. Uh, Me personally, I do believe that there is a high potentiality of Nintendo making a smartphone. And here is sort of one of my things as to why that is highly probable. Uh, Not highly probable, but potential. And there was a strange, interesting pattern in how Nintendo announced the Nintendo NX, as they also announced it, well, they brought it up the first time at a investors meeting or press meeting with DNA, which is the company that's working with Nintendo on smartphone devices and the new My Nintendo program. Uh, Coincidence or not, Satoru Iwata did basically say that while looking into developing smartphone games, uh, this only reaffirmed and informed Nintendo on its future endeavor, and they are doubled down on hardware, which is this thing called the Nintendo codename Nintendo NX. Not actually codename Nintendo NX. It's Nintendo codename NX. Uh, and this is sort of a little moment where I stopped and thought about he could have potentially just brought it up because the NX could potentially just be a smartphone device that hooks into a dock station or a console like device, potentially an updated Wii U minus the gamepad. And the portable smartphone NX would take the place of the gamepad. And Super Metal Dave also went down this path of thought. Now, N64 Danny and Super Metal Dave and a whole bunch of other people talking about dock station and portable controller system and all this other stuff. Uh, the problem with stuff like this is that for the complete experience, you have to fork out a lot of money potentially in just getting all the devices for the optimum experience. And this kind of runs hard against the whole belief Nintendo wants to try to go with at various points, where lower price point making easier entry into the system. Uh, but then again, we had the Wii, which basically started on an easy entry and then got more expensive as you invest into it. And same thing with the Wii U. It's just one of those weird phases Nintendo is going into. Now, as for me, besides the whole feeling in here that Nintendo is potentially looking into making its own smartphone, now whether it's going to be like what N64 Danny thinks of, or Super Metal Dave, or various other YouTubers think of, that is another thing. Uh, what I personally would have loved is potentially just simplifying everything back down and potentially making a more straightforward video game system with the option of the new system to play, the new way to play. And there's like two really cool names or points in this direction. One, I'm gonna hold one off for another video, but Nintendo could potentially rename the Nintendo NX, the home console Nintendo system, next generation Nintendo system, the Mega Nintendo Entertainment System or the Ultra Nintendo Entertainment System. And I personally prefer going with the Mega, and then the sequel to that would be the Ultra. And that could just simply be a more straightforward box of a system with a lot of processing power. Cartridges, I love cartridges, by the way, and we could just go off in that direction. Please tell me what you think of the name Mega Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, uh, I'm gonna just cut it off right here and send it on because this happens to be Friday night. In about a minute of the ending, a minute from this recording of this video, it will be Saturday. And I have a lot of stuff to do on Saturday. I basically have to wake up super early in the morning to load up a truck for produce. And now it's officially 12 o'clock. And I also then have to drop off that produce at a farmer's market and then drive all the way to work through the insanity at a scrapyard on a Saturday, and then rush out of work after we close and go to the farmer's market, pack everything up, and go. So, there you know. I got a really busy Saturday. Have a wonderful night. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please comment. Just say hi. If you want me to check out your channel or video, do not delete your comment. If you do that, I will simply ignore it. It's more difficult to trace you down once you delete your comment than it is to just leave it up and I can hit it and go, okay? Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Or early morning when you, morning, noon, afternoon, whenever you see this video, okay? Have a wonderful time.